Hello. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing today? It is a Wednesday already. How are you doing? I'll let a couple more people get on, and then after that, we're going to get started. How is everyone doing? Oh, I'm going to get started. Good evening, and welcome to Mo Better Living. My name is Monique. And tonight, I just want to talk from the heart, like I always do. I try to always talk from the heart. And I remember being a kid at Wyoming Avenue Church of Christ in Detroit, and there used to be a gentleman by the name of Henry Connor. And Henry Connor used to stand at the door, and he would say, "Keep that joy, keep that joy, keep that joy." And I was like, what is this man talking about? And he didn't care who you were, visitor, member, keep that joy. He was going to say it every single Sunday. And so when I was young, like I said, I just could not grasp the concept of keep that joy. But then life started happening, right? And as God is maturing me, even to today, every day is a little bit more maturity that comes in. I've learned that keep that joy isn't something to ignore. It was so powerful, keep that joy, that Henry Connor would say every week. And it's really about protection. And that keep that joy. And just keep that joy. So I'm gonna talk about a situation that happened because I'm always telling y'all stuff that happened to me. So yesterday was Tuesday, and on Tuesdays I have a blast that is semi-automated where it's preset to send out a blast to like 200 and something people in my phone, telling them about the Tuesday radio program. And so I end up getting this text back from a number that's programmed in my phone, and it said, um, who she said, who is this? And I said, oh, it's Monique. And I told her how she knew me, that I had met her. And she said, you're from Michigan, right? And I said, yeah. So I knew she knew who I was. But once she completely knew who I was, her words and the tone just was completely unexpected. It went from what I thought was just oh, let me, log your number into my phone, to it became very harsh. Her responses, her comments, and I'm looking at the phone like, who is this? I mean, like, this, who is this? Like, this has never been an interaction that the two of us have ever had, so it caught me really off guard. And in that moment, I remember I had to say, okay, Holy Spirit, I need you to help me. Because I started getting sensitive, because it was like she was just throwing darts at me, and I'm doing this. I'm like, whoa, wait, whoa. What? I mean, and so I had to slow down, I had to calm down and I had to say, okay, what is it that he's trying? What is this experience trying to show me? And so, in that, I remember just thinking, Brother Connor, keep that joy. But let me back up to Brother Connor, keep that joy. When the day started, I had told myself, this is going to be a good day. And I thought about his comment, keep that joy. So now, sometimes when you tell yourself something is going to be amazing, the enemy got to come and shake some things up for you. Got to shake, 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 shake that up for you. So, sitting at the desk, send out the blast. She's in the blast. She's questioning who I am. And then when I tell her who I am, now she's like, choo, 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 choo. And I'm like, you really just don't know me because where are you getting this from? And so I was like, okay, Lord, I don't want to be offended, but I'm sensitive. I'm sensitive. It's not just Erica Badu that's sensitive. Monique is sensitive. So I'm like, I'm sensitive, but Lord, give me a heart that hears people. And I'm learning that when people come at you, a lot of times it don't have nothing to do with you. The way they respond is based on something they going through. You just end up being in the crossfire of what it is they're going through. Because I hadn't done anything to the lady at all. But she was obviously very upset with me from something, and I was really caught off guard by it. So I had to choose not to be offended. And I had to recognize that people speak to you and deal with you from their own experiences and their own inner struggles. And that's when once I figured that out, that this was from her own experiences, I said, okay, fine. So then I had to practice Matthew 18:15. And it's very clear. If your brother offends you, go to your brother. So I picked up the telephone and I called her because I said, sometimes text can be misunderstood. And I was like, perhaps how I'm interpreting what she's saying, maybe that's not even it. So let me pick up the telephone and call. So when I picked up the telephone, it was still some more. I mean, they was coming across like they was skinning my nose, like taking a little skin off my nose, and I was like, "Yikes! What is really going on here?" And so then, when we got off the phone, I just paused. I paused and I asked myself, "Water Lily." I call myself Water Lily. Water Lily, is it more important to be right or is it more important to have peace? And peace was going to win this time. It's going to actually win for me every time because I'm going to keep that joy. So peace wins. And I just wanted to take a moment and to give you 3 steps that'll help you keep your joy when the world is trying to pull the joy up out of you. The first one is pause before you react. And in Proverbs 15, chapter 15, verse 1, it says, a soft answer turns away wrath. I kept trying to talk, but this lady wouldn't allow me to talk. She kept over talking me. And I just finally had to just be quiet because no matter what I was saying, she couldn't receive what I was saying because she already had in her mind that she was offended. So since she was offended, I wasn't going to be offended with her. So I wanted to hear the offense. I wanted to hear the issue because I'm okay with having peace over being right. So, okay. So I took a breath and I didn't meet emotion with emotion. I met her with grace. And I was like, let me just meet this lady with grace. Because obviously it's something going on here. And it's just deeper than me. It can't be me because I haven't seen you since 2019. So it can't be me. I cannot be the reason that you're upset. The second thing is pray for discernment. And then Proverbs chapter 2, verses 3 through 6 it basically tells us that if you call out for insight, we find the knowledge of God. And asking him to show, and when you ask him to show you what's really happening beneath the words, sometimes it's not about you. Because it couldn't have been about me. Right. She was committed to being offended. 2019 is 2025. Like, what could you possibly have been upset with me about? But okay. Okay. And then the third thing is protect your joy, even if it costs you access. And so in John chapter 14:27, it says, peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. Peace is precious. It requires distance sometimes, it requires silence, and sometimes it's letting go, but it's always worth keeping. I cannot exchange my peace for anything. Chrisette Michelle has a song and it says, blame it on me. But part of the lyrics say, blame it on me, say it's my fault, say whatever you want, just as long as you say it's over. Because sometimes it's not about, I don't have to spin the narrative. And I had to sit in my own mirror and say, okay, Monique, even though I wanted to try to get to the root of what the offense was, I had to make sure that I didn't fall back into those old habits of trying to justify who I am. That battle not mine anymore. We say the battle's not mine, it's the Lord, and that's scripture. But sometimes it ain't even God's battle. Sometimes you just gotta let stuff go and move on. Ma'am, I don't even look the same as I did in 2019. I'm sure you don't either. I probably could walk past you and not even acknowledge you, not from a place of being funny, but simply from a place that I just don't remember you like that. Because our interaction was once, but I had your number in my phone and we've texted a couple of times. That's why I was kind of thrown off. Today was just the day, and that's okay. But in the words of one of my good friends, he says, Monique, they don't get to talk to me like that. And she doesn't either. She don't get to talk to me like that anymore. So even though I'm not upset at all, because every moment in my life is a God moment. And the God moment in all of this was simply, hey, you can either choose to go down the path and act a crazy person, or you can choose to go down the path and show that person grace and show that person a Christ in you. And so that's what I chose to do. I'm getting to a point, life is such a vapor. Before I start acting up, I really am getting to a place where I'm like, do I really want to stand before the judgment on that behavior? And it'll get me right. Because, I don't want to stand before the judgment because of something I done said to somebody who has such little value in my world. So, with that, I did remove her from the email blast, not from a place of anger, but it was apparent that who I am is bothering her. And sometimes people like you to still be who you once was. They don't like the new you. They don't like the growth. They like the person that will set themselves on fire or whatever it is. But it was something about me that bothered her. And so to keep from having, because a peace, the same peace that I want her to have. So instead of me interrupting her peace, I'll just remove me and be okay with removing me. But I wanted to tell you guys a big announcement. I have an event. It's going to be a Zoom event. It's going to be December 14th. I'm going to officially put everything out on Facebook, but I wanted y'all to hear about it first. It's going to be Zoom. Like I said, it's Sunday, December 14th, and it's called Healingmas. So it's where healing and the holidays meet. And so it's a time, and because I know it says healing, but we're not focusing on the traumas or all that in life, because that's not what this is about. It's a celebration. We're celebrating the one who has brought us and is keeping us. And we're just going to celebrate that it's not about pain. We're celebrating our peace. We're celebrating our purpose, and we're celebrating the progress. And it's going to be a sacred space for women. You know, that's my ministry is women. And we're going to rejoice in what God has restored and renewed in us. And we even gonna have our Job moment, because some things God didn't restore with Job. He gave him, he couldn't restore the children that had passed or the cattle and all that stuff that had died. He gave them new. So that's why we're gonna really focus in on that renewed stuff, that new stuff God has given us. And so with that, we are going to honor the healing that has taken place in us. And so mark your calendars, please, and find a quiet place. Get you your favorite journal and your favorite pen, your tea, cocoa, or coffee, and some worship music, or it don't have to be any music at all. And we're just going to come together and we're going to unwrap some joy and some gratitude and some growth together. Because healing is not the end of your story, it is truly your beginning. So, I hope you all can make it to the Healingmas, and that'll be December 14th. And also, as you know, I do the radio. I do this every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I have the radio station that I do every Tuesday at noon Central Time and 1 p.m. on Eastern Time. And then it is a recap or the encore that comes on at 9 p.m. Central Time and 10 Eastern Time. So until we meet again, sis, keep that joy. Keep the same joy as them little kids. You ever seen? And maybe that's why he told the little kids as much as he told the adults to keep that joy. Because if you keep the joy of a little kid, you know how amazing life can be. But that's all I have for you guys. I hope this touched you in such a way. And I look forward to seeing you December. December 14th, but also hope Lord's will next Tuesday and next Wednesday. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.